Have you ever had one of those days where you thought you were holding it together just fine? And then your dog wouldn't leave your side, not begging for food, not asking to play, just there, pressed against your leg, staring up at you like they already knew something you hadn't even admitted to yourself yet. That's not a coincidence, and it's not just love. There is something happening in your dog's body, right in that moment, that most owners never hear about. Your dog is picking up on changes in you that your own mirror won't show you for hours. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how they're doing it. And honestly, it might change the way you look at every quiet moment you've ever shared with them. I want you to comment below and tell me the exact moment your dog somehow knew before you did. Every single one of us has a story like that. I want to read yours. Let's get into it. 1. It starts with your skin, not your face. Here's the first thing people get wrong. They assume their dog reads sadness the same way a person does, off your face, your tone of voice, maybe your posture. And sure, dogs do pick up on all of that eventually. But here's what almost nobody knows. Long before your face changes, your body has already started leaking information, and your dog's nose is catching every bit of it. When you're stressed or sad, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone. And that hormone doesn't just float around inside you quietly. It changes your scent. It comes out through your skin, through your breath, even through your sweat. In ways so subtle, a person standing right next to you wouldn't notice a thing. Your dog's nose has somewhere between 10,000 and 100,000 times the sensitivity of yours. So while you're still telling yourself you're fine, your dog has already smelled the shift. Tell me honestly, did you know dogs could smell a mood change before you even feel it yourself? Drop a comment, yes or no. I want to see how many of you had no idea this was even possible. 2. They're reading your face better than the people around you. Now here's where it gets even more interesting, because scent is only half the story. When people look at another person's face, our eyes drift naturally to the left side of their face first. It's called the left gaze bias, and it happens because the right side of our brain, the emotional side, controls the left side of our face. We evolved to read that. What researchers found is that dogs do the exact same thing, but only with human faces, not with other dogs, not with objects, just us. Somewhere along the way, over thousands of years living beside people, dogs developed a human-specific way of reading emotion that even some people struggle with. That's why your dog can walk into a room, take one look at you, and immediately change their whole body language before you've said a single word. So here's my question for you. Has your dog ever looked at you and reacted to something you hadn't told anyone yet? I want you to type it out in the comments. I read every single one. The open loop. Now stay with me, because everything I've told you so far is really just the setup. What's coming later in this video, around number 6, is the part that made me stop and just sit with my own dog for a minute the first time I read about it. It's the part where scientists actually measured what happens inside your dog's body while they're comforting you. Not what we assume happens, what actually happens. So stick around for that one. 3. Your heartbeat and your dog's heartbeat are not as separate as you think. This next one surprises almost everyone I talk to about it. When a bonded dog is in close physical contact with their owner, something measurable happens to both of you. Cortisol drops, heart rate slows. And this isn't a one-way thing either. It's not just your dog calming down next to you. Studies measuring this have found the same effect happens in the person too. You calm each other down, without either of you trying to. Over time, with enough nights and enough quiet afternoons on the couch, your dog actually starts to learn the rhythm of your body at rest, your normal breathing, your normal heartbeat, what calm you sounds and feels like. So the moment something is off, even something small, your dog isn't guessing. They're comparing it to a map they've been building of you for months, sometimes years. If you've ever noticed your dog seems to physically calm down the second they curl up next to you, that's not just comfort for them. Tell me in the comments if your dog does this, because I promise you, you're not imagining it. 4. The behaviors you've been misreading. Let's talk about what this actually looks like in real life, because I think a lot of owners see these behaviors and completely misread them. The dog who suddenly won't leave your side for no obvious reason. The dog who rests their head on your lap out of nowhere in the middle of the day when nothing seems to be happening. The dog who gets unusually quiet and just watches you from across the room instead of asking to play like they normally would. Most people write these off as random, or they think the dog is just being clingy that day. But when you put it next to everything we've already talked about, the scent detection, the facial reading, the heartbeat syncing, these behaviors start to look a lot less random and a lot more like a response. Your dog isn't choosing to be near you because they're bored. They're choosing to be near you because something in their assessment of you changed, and their instinct is to close the distance when that happens. I want to know, does your dog do this? The sudden clinginess, the head on the lap out of nowhere? Comment below and tell me which one your dog does, because I have a feeling the comment section on this one is going to be full of stories. If this is making you think back on moments with your own dog differently, go ahead and hit subscribe right now. This channel is built entirely around what the actual science says about your dog, not the assumptions we've all just accepted for years. And honestly, comment sections like this one are the whole reason I keep making these. So if something in this video is hitting home for you, don't just scroll past it. Tell me. 5. This is not new. Your dog was built for this. Here's something that puts everything into context. This isn't some accidental skill your dog picked up. This is thousands of years in the making. Dogs have lived alongside humans for roughly 15,000 years, and in that time, they didn't just learn to tolerate us. They evolved a set of social behaviors specifically directed at reading humans, something researchers studying dog cognition have found doesn't even show up the same way in wolves raised by people or in our closest primate relatives. Point at something, and your dog follows your finger without being taught. A chimpanzee won't do that, so when your dog reads your scent, your face, your heartbeat, that's not a party trick. That is thousands of years of evolution pointed directly at understanding you specifically, not people in general. You. If that gives you a little chill, you're not alone. Tell me in the comments, did you already know dogs evolved specifically to read humans? Or is this new information for you too? 6. What happens inside your dog when they comfort you? Okay, this is the one I told you to stick around for. In 2015, a study published in the journal Science made headlines everywhere because researchers found something that honestly still gives me chills every time I think about it. When dogs and their owners simply looked into each other's eyes, both the dog and the person showed a significant rise in oxytocin. That's the bonding hormone, the same one that surges between a mother and her newborn in the very first moments after birth. So when your dog comes over and rests their head against you after a hard day and you look down at them, that eye contact is triggering the same chemical response in both of you that a parent and a newborn baby share. That is not sentiment. That is not owners projecting feelings onto their pets. That's a documented, measurable biological loop happening in real time, and your dog is triggering it on purpose, just by choosing to look at you. I have to ask, did you know that? Because I didn't, not until I came across this study, and it completely changed how I see those quiet eye contact moments with my own dog. Comment below, yes or no, because I want to know how many of you are hearing this for the first time right now. 7. Why this matters more than you think. Here's why all of this actually matters beyond just being a fascinating fact. Your dog isn't performing an isolated skill. They're running a constant, quiet assessment of you, made up of scent, facial reading, heartbeat, all layered on top of each other, all happening at once, every single day, whether you notice it or not. And they're doing it not because they were trained to, but because on some level, watching over you is what they were built to do. This is also part of why some dogs are trained as medical alert or emotional support animals, because researchers have found that this same sensitivity, the ability to detect subtle chemical and behavioral shifts in a person, can be sharpened and directed with the right training. But even the average dog on your couch right now has this ability running quietly in the background all the time. So the next time your dog seems to appear out of nowhere on a day you didn't say a word about how you were feeling, understand that they weren't guessing. They picked it up. And they came anyway. Remember how we started this video? I asked you about that moment your dog somehow just knew before you'd said a single word. Now you know exactly how that happens. The scent that changes before your face does. The eyes that read you better than most people ever will. The heartbeat that quietly learns yours over time. And underneath all of it, a chemical bond that runs as deep as the one between a parent and their child. Your dog isn't just sharing your home. They're paying attention to you in a way almost nothing else in your life does. Consistently, quietly, without needing anything back. If this video changed the way you're going to look at your dog tonight, do 3 things for me. Hit like, so more people see this. Subscribe, because I've got more of these coming, and I don't want you to miss them. And most importantly, scroll down and tell me your story. The moment your dog knew before you did. I read every comment, and I promise you, this comment section is going to be one worth scrolling through. I'll see you in the next one.